This is View Calculus. We're doing topic 6, which is the product rule and trig rules. We are in video 2 of this series, and we're going to do example 4 and 5, and then you're going to do some practice problems. So in example 4, we're given f of x equals the square root of x times cosine x. So again, this is a product that cannot be simplified. So I've got this u, which is the square root of x, and a v that's cosine x. Now, you might find it easier to rewrite the square root of x as an x to the 1/2. It's up to you, but you might find that easier, right? So my f prime of x is going to be u, which is x to the 1/2 or square root of x, dv, derivative of cosine, is negative sine, plus v, which is cosine, and then this is the reason I suggested rewriting that as a 1/2. Du is going to be 1/2 x to the negative 1/2, right? Because you drop the 1/2 down in front, right, and then lower the power by 1, right? So that's what I'm going to get. So if I clean this up, it might be nice to write it back as a root. It doesn't matter. I'm going to write that as negative root x sine x, right? Plus, I'm probably going to do a 1 over 2 root x. I'm probably going to put that back on the bottom, cosine of x, or any number of versions of this are fine. That's probably what I would do. I probably think that looks the nicest. But technically, this whole line is fine the way it is. It's just slightly nicer that way. Let's do example 5, and then you're going to do your practice problems. In example 5, same concept. I'm given f of x equals the cube root of x times the cosecant of x. So again, my u is a cube root, my v is cosecant x. So again, if you want to rewrite this cube root is the same as an x to the 1/3. If you want to write it that way, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. So my f prime of x, you will need to think of it as an x to the 1/3 in order to do the power rule when it's time to do du. So u, and you could just leave your u like this, right? That's my u. But when I get to du, it's going to be much, much easier if I think about it as though it is an x to the 1/3, because it is. So u dv, well, the derivative of cosecant is negative cosecant cotangent. So dv is going to be negative cosecant x cotangent x, right? Plus v, which is cosecant x. And then du is going to be a 1/3 x to the negative 2/3, because that's what happens if you subtract 1 from 1/3, right? So u dv plus v du. At this moment, you're not wrong, but it's not the nicest thing you've ever seen. So you're probably going to rewrite this as a negative cube root of x, cosecant x, cotangent x. You might just put the cosecant x, plus cosecant x on top of the 3x to the 2/3. It's fine. Any version of this is fine. I mean, the 3's on the bottom, the x to the 2/3 would go on the bottom, up to you. So anyway, that's your example 5. Again, it's okay if you get to here and you're not sure which version it's going to look like. On an actual AP Calc test, I would suggest that you don't simplify to this. I would suggest that you stop here and look at the multiple choice answers, and if it's not multiple choice, unless something is multiple choice, we really only simplify selfishly. Like, we simplify if we're going to have to use something ourselves, and we'd rather use the simplified version. Otherwise, this answer is totally fine and completely right.